Alright. So we will be talking about the characteristic and principles and characteristics of CBT. Okay, so curriculum-based training. Okay, so first we'll be tackling about the 10 principles of the CBT and also the key. No, so curriculum-based training. No, this is an educational approach, especially in Tibet. No, so technically, this centers on developing specific skills and competencies in terms pagdating sa learners. Okay? So sa CBT po, dito ini-emphasize natin yung practical, real-world skills, rather than just theoretical knowledge. Again, in CBT po, ini-emphasize natin yung practical and real-world skills rather than just theoretical knowledge. So in our previous discussion, in the introduction to trainers methodology 1 or introduction to PM1, we have discussed what is CBT, napahapayawan na natin what is CBC and the CBL. Okay? So technically, itong training framework natin ay nakafocus sa kung ano yung kayang gawin ng learner natin or on what a learner can do. And how they can apply yung skills, yung knowledge nila in order to perform yung specific task and also to solve particular problem. So technically, ang CBT po ay nakafocus sa learning outcomes. So technically, in terms of training, this should provide clear and measurable learning outcomes or technically competencies, yung mga competencies na ina-expect natin na ma-achieve ng learners. Okay? So technically, itong mga outcomes na to are very specific. Specific in terms of skills and abilities na dapat magawa or ma-demonstrate ng participant. Another one is skill-based ang CBT natin. Okay, so when we talk of skill-based, yung mga lessons and training modules natin ay nakapalibot o umiikot sa pagdating sa pagdevelop ng practical skills ng mga trainee na tinatawag natin o ng mga workers. So technically, yung mga lessons dito ay naka-structure in order to facilitate yung hands-on learning experiences. So with this, we might that the learners are allowed, or we are allowing the learners to practice and also apply yung skills na ituro sa kanila. Okay? So also this is personalized learning. This is self-paced. Now one of the principle of the CBT is actually this is self-paced. When you talk of self-paced, this is personal. This training or the CBT actually allows us or allows the learner to have a personalized learning paths wherein they could or they can progress at their own pace. So technically this focuses on mastering yung competency rather than adhering in terms and also the students technically or the trainee needs to adhere in terms of timeline. Okay, so this is the CBT. So we have two. This includes the CBC, what we have discussed in the previous video, and the CBL. Okay. So again, we will be talking about the framework. Now, this is important, especially when you are planning to take the TM1 in the future. So let us talk about this. So technically, the student enters the program. This is a flow chart or a framework technically. So first is the student enters the program. So this is the first. You have to attempt in entering a certain program, or that could be national certification, that could be trainer's methodology 1. Okay, so after that, technically during the after you enter, once the students enter the program, so there would be an orientation. So we have here the orientation. This is important. Why do we need to orient the students or the trainee? Now, technically, in orienting the students or training, we could establish what is expected of them, all throughout, or during or after each module, or weeks or months, kung depende kung gaano man kahaba ang training na itatagal. Paano sila i-assess, paano ang gagawin nila, ano yung mga account nila, etc., etc. Ano yung mga forms na kinakailangan nila. So we have these different forms na dapat ma-introduce sa kanila ng maayos ng framework. Ito ay nakalagay sa TM1. So this is important. Itong mga learning contract, pagpo-provide ng learning materials, yung CBLM materials or yung mga modules natin, yung mga multimedia materials natin, and also yung progress report. Yung progress report, meron silang sample template doon na ginagamit mismo na trainers method ng trainer natin, for the trainers methodology training. So, meron po silang mga forms na kinakailangan i-accomplish na kailangan i-present also during the orientation. So, this is really important. Orientation is very important, even informal education. Orientation is very important. Another is the role of the trainer, and the trainee. So, what is the role of the CBT trainer? So, ang major role ng CBT trainer is ang pag-coordinate ng learning activities. This is hybrid. Most of the TM training is hybrid. So may face-to-face, well, technically depende sa arrangement, but mostly they are hybrid. So meaning you will be given learning materials that you need to accomplish, and with that you have to submit different outcomes such as in portfolio. You have to also pass the interview, demonstration, written examination. Those are the requirements in TM1 when you would like to take the TM1. So what is the role of the trainee or the CBT trainer? So this is to coordinate learning activities, other than yung pag-dispense ng information. So sa CBT system natin, this is the major portion of, well, technically, yung major portion ng training time o yung oras ng training natin ay nakatuon sa demonstration, sa pag-assign ng tasks sa students, sa pag-provide ng individual at group assistance, sa pag-evaluate ng trainees or ng progress ng trainees, at also pag-provide ng individual consultation. Yun yung mga role ng trainer natin. So another is the role of CBT training. So why do we need to establish this? Para at least, ano ba yung na-expect natin sa trainer or prep, once we enter the TM1? And ano ba yung na-expect natin sa sarili natin, bilang trainee? So, bilang trainee, ang responsibility natin is, of course, to i-pursue natin yung instruction, for our personal goals and also objectives. Bakit mo nga ba tinitake ang TM? So, technically, as trainee, you spend most of your time, in terms of directed self-study and practice. Kasi pag sinabi natin directed self-study and practice, well, technically, you are responsible in terms of your learning. So self-regulation. We have to practice self-regulation, or what we call the adult learning. Supervised by trainee, you can provide, well, technically, we are being supervised by our trainer. That's why it is very important to establish the role of the trainer and the trainee. Second is to administer the RPL. When we talk of RPL, this is what we meant by review of prior learning. Ito po siya, nandito po siya, review of RPL. So, when we talk of RPL, this is a review of prior learning. Well, technically, itong assessment na to, this includes yung skills and knowledge against the elements and performance criteria of a relevant unit. Well, technically, review of prior learning will actually evaluate your different forms, your qualification, your skills, or this could also involve interview, to really assess whether you really have the skills, So, halimbawa, ano nga ba ang competence na ina-assess? Ano nga ba yung mga competence ng training na ina-assess against this I mean, with this RPL, no? First is yung authenticity. Bakit nga ba? No? Ang trainee ba natin ay meron talagang evidence ng skills at knowledge niya in terms of formal qualification, possession description, yung mga references niya, and other materials na sinusupport sa claim niya. No? By the way, before you take the TM1, you should be able to pass national certification, such as NC2 and C3. Okay, before you take the TM1. No? Pag nag-take po tayo ng TM1, ibig sabihin, no, once you pass that, dalawang babagsakan po, either you are trainer or assessor. No? So, ibig sabihin, nandun tayo sa level ng trainer tayo at assessor tayo. So, you really have to have that competence or competency, no, in terms of national certification or the skills na gusto mong i-assess later on or gusto mong i-train later on. Kasi technically, you will not be able to train someone if you really do not have or do not possess that certain skills. Okay? So, technically, before you take, no, TM1 certification, then technically, you have to pass first the national certification. So, second is currency. No? So, when we talk of currency po, no, nagagamit ba natin yung skills natin pagdating sa pagtatrabaho natin? Okay? Ano ba yung tinitignan for the RPL? Quality. No? Meron ba talaga tayong competency standards in terms of skills at knowledge natin pagdating dito sa halimbawa sa akin sa visual graphic design, no? So relevance ba siya sa relevant ba siya for particular qualification? Halimbawa, I passed the national certification 3 for the visual graphic design. Relevant ba siya sa apply ko for the TM1? Well, technically yes. No? Transferability, another one, no, is yung mga skills and knowledge mo ba, no, na gain mo is relevant sa particular qualification. Another is validity, no? Technically, no, kaya mo bang i-demonstrate yung skills na meron ka? No? So, yun yung mga yun, no? Ang tinitingnan natin during the RTL. Another is organized learning strategy, no? So, here we have organized learning strategy under the student enters program. Ito po, no? Organized learning strategy. No? So technically, in organizing learning strategies, no, well, technically you need to provide, no, yung mga, again, yung mga forms, learning materials, no, what is the method you will be implementing for that specific module, etc. No, in PR, may kita po ninyo doon and sa CBC. No, and after that, no, pupunta po tayo sa student selects competencies. No, ano nga bang competencies ang gusto mong i-take? And national certification ba? TM ba? Anong in particular area? Anong particular area? Sa bed-and-based, diba? Bed-and-based, diba? CSS ba? Animation ba? Visual graphic ba? No? So prior to that, of course, if you will be taking animation, then technically you're expected, no, to have that skills, no, in terms of animation in 2D and 3D. No, in terms of visual graphics naman, then you're expected naman na to have the skills in terms of producing publication materials. No? So technically, no, let's take a look at this blue part. No, yun po yung susunod. Itong blue part na to. No, so technically, review learning package. No, ito yung review learning package. No, so in terms of learning, in terms of learning package, no, well, technically learners or the trainee, no, begin to review yung comprehensive learning package. Ano nga ba yung meron? No? Ano nga ba yung ini-include nitong mga to? This includes yung learning material, instructions, guidelines, no? Guidelines relative to specific skills and competencies na ina-expect nila ma-acquire nila. And also, this actually serves foundation for learning. Okay? Next is view multimedia materials. So in terms of viewing multimedia materials, no, materials such as videos, presentations, or interactive simulations, no, are actually used to enhance, no, yung learning experience ng mga trainee natin. So technically, no, hindi lang naman basta written or module ang binibigay natin. We have to prepare multimedia materials because technically if you need, if as trainee needs to see, the demonstration of different skills, no? So, bakit nga ba kailangan yun? Para makuha talaga nila yung concept o yung concept. Use of manuals. Now, in terms of using manuals, these are detailed guides, that will actually offer our trainee or learners, with a step-by-step instruction on how to perform tasks or master specific skills. Okay? So, technically, ang ating learners, could actually refer, to manual, para maintindihan nila yung tamang procedure at technique, associated with the competencies they are learning, and observe demonstration. Bukod doon sa mga modules and multimedia materials na binibigay natin, learners, they are expecting that they will be observing skilled practitioners or instructors, in terms of demonstrating ng mga correct method at techniques ng mga skills or competencies na dapat nilang matutunan. Ang panonood ng demonstration will technically provide learners, yung visual understanding, paano natin i-perform ng tama at efficient yung mga bagay-bagay, lalo na yung mga competencies. Halimbawa sa bed and pastry, paano dapat ang tamang pag-handle, pag-knead ng dough, paglagay ng mga ingredients, pagsukat ng mga ingredients, yung mga ganong bagay. Even in visual graphic design, what are the first step, what are the second step, what are the third step, what are the skills, technique na the expert could provide to us or tinatawag nating trainer. And also, we have practice skills in workshop. Workshop could mean yung training center natin. Practical application ng mga component natin sa CBT. Ang learner natin should have the opportunity to practice the skills they have learned in controlled workshop environment. Well, technically, yung mga hands-on practices will actually allow our students or training para ma-refine o para mas ma-enhance yung techniques at confidence nila at yung ability nila. That's why they need to have workshop. And also, and lastly, sa part ng blue po, is to receive assistance and advice. So technically, throughout the training process, learners should receive guidance, assistance, and advice from our instructors or trainer na sinasabi natin. Okay? So, technically, ang ating mga trainer should provide yung feedback, should correct the mistake, should offer tips for improvement, address any questions or concerns ng learners, and also, bakit nga ba kailangan ito? This is to personalize yung support. At also, para ma-ensure natin na nasa tamang track ang ating training. This is to overcome yung mga challenges na maaaring ma-encounter nila during the learning process. So, ito po yun. Okay? So, next, punta po tayo dito. Dito po yung arrow. Kung makikita natin itong instructor, wait lang, pagin natin yung kulay. Instructor observes performance. Meron po siya ng dalawang arrow, papunta dito at papunta dito. So, as the instructor, technically you have to perform yung mga competency set sa core competency natin in national certification. Not only that, halimbawa sa TM, what are the competencies that they are expecting? Halimbawa, sa interview, pag-demonstrate, pasa ng portfolio sa written examination. So, yung mga ganong bagay. We are expected, to demonstrate. And also, you have to make sure that you understand the flow, because this is very important. Kasi mamaya tanungin kayo, ano-ano tong mga to, kasi hindi nyo ma-discuss, So, first, punta tayo dito, instructor observe performance. So, technically, may dalawa po siyang arrow. As you perform, the instructor will observe or the trainer will observe, instructor rates, and of course, you attempt the task. student attempt the task, you demonstrate, ibig sabihin. So while you are demonstrating, nagkakaroon po ng process na kung saan nire-rate po kayo. Okay? And also, self-assessment, you rate your own performance. After that, punta po tayo dito sa araw na to. No? Itong araw na to, no, na-perform mo ba yung competency? Pag no, balik ka dito. Pag yes, na-complete mo ba yung mga competency na sinasabi? Nagawa mo ba ng maayos? Lahat ba na-perform mo ng tama? Pag yes, then you are awarded with qualification or certification. If no, then technically, balik tayo dito. Ganun ang ibig niya sabihin. Okay? So, technically po, no, meron tayong 10 principles ng CBT. Ano-ano itong mga to? No? So, una, the training is based, no, on curriculum. Curriculum developed from the competency standards. So, paiksi natin, no, ang training natin ay nakadesign base sa curriculum derived, no, from industry-defined competency standards. So, kanina pinag-uusapan natin o last discussion, pinag-uusapan natin saan pa nagagaling ang mga competency standards na sinasabi natin. Well, technically, it came from the industry set or defined standards. Okay. Next is competency-based and modular learning. So learning is competency-based or modular in structure. So technically, when we talk of modular in structure, or learning is technically structured, no, around specific competencies and module. No, this will allow the learners to focus on. There is training delivery is individualized and soft-paced. Ito yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina, no? That individual learning, CBT focuses on individual or personalized learning. No, so technically this will enable not the learners or our trainee to progress, no, at their own pace. Okay, so next is training, no? Training is based on work that must be performed. So technically, ang training natin ay naka-center sa real-world tasks and activities. No? This is anchored sa mga respective industry or competencies na binigay sa atin ng respective industry. Pangalawa, training materials ay directly related to competency standards and the curriculum module. No? So technically, yung mga training materials natin, dapat lang naman na naka-align siya at naka-angkla po siya sa curriculum na meron tayo. No? Technically, para ma-ensure natin yung applicability ng skills na itinuturo sa atin. Now, pangatlo is assessment is based on collection of pieces of evidences and performance. No? So, ibig sabihin po, yung assessment natin ay based po sa actual performance natin. No? We will be evaluated sa actual performance natin sa skills, kung atin ba natin ng competency, no? That is against, no, na itinatama, no, ipinagtatama natin sa industry required standards or sa competency na nakaset sa atin. Okay? Okay. So next is training is based on both on and off job components. Ayan. It allows the RPL, recognition of RPL, and multiple entries and executive training. Punta tayo sa number 7. So number 7, it allows on and off the job components. So ibig sabihin, it provides comprehensive learning experiences, both on and off the job components. Okay? So, pangwalo, no, it recognizes the prior learning. So technically, kanina, diba, we have discussed what are the RPL, what are the 6 things that they are checking in terms of RPL. No? So technically, we have to recognize and assess learners in terms of prior learning at yung existing competencies na meron sila. No? And with that, we could actually build, their existing skills, no? Or build upon their consistent existing skills. And pang-9, no, is yung flexible entry and exit points. So learners can enter and exit the training program at multiple points, technically accommodating in different learning paths and level experts. And lastly, no, for the 10 principle of CBT, no, you have to remember this, the UTPRAS, Unified Debit Program Registration and Accreditation System. Again, Unified Debit Program Registration and Accreditation System. No. So technically, yung mga approved training programs natin are nationally accredited. No, this is to ensure na na-meet ang established standards, no, pagdating sa mga institutions. So that they should be, no, are registered or sa Unified Debit Program Registration and Accreditation System. Even all the list of passers, no, they should have database and also the TN passers. Okay, second is the characteristic of CBT. Okay, so the characteristic of CBT, no, competencies are carefully selected. No? So when we talk of competencies are are carefully selected, di ba? Sinasabi natin ang industry ang nagsiset ng competencies na meron tayo na technically ibinaba sa mga educational institution or organizational institution na nagko-conduct o nagbibigay ng certification o nagka-qualify sa mga training, no? So technically with that, no? So lahat ng competencies are carefully selected, no? So another, no, yung mga theory integrated with skill of practice. If you will be checking the TM1, there are a lot of theory incorporated in that. No, we're in, no, kung titignan po natin ang ating syllabus sa facilitating learning, there are a lot of theory in order for you to effectively facilitate instruction in terms of classroom setting or in terms of pivot setting. Detailed training materials, okay, or the key to the competencies to achieve and are designed to support acquisition of knowledge and skills. Reason why they have forms, a lot of forms, modules, the CBLM, multimedia materials, and of course they follow instructions talaga, no, in terms of trainers po. Pagdating sa ating mga trainers, because with that, no, they are bounded with this characteristic, which is yung mga detailed learning materials or training materials na kinakailangan should be ready, no, para to avoid confusion and also to really guide our students in terms of training. Okay, so methods of instruction involve master learning. The premise that all applicants can master the required knowledge and skills, provide sufficient time, and appropriate training methods are used. If you will be checking the TR and the CBC, now we have training methods, the specified po doon. What are the competencies in line with the training methods, etc. And of course, it should be self-paced, now as we have discussed a while ago. And of course, ito yung sinasabi natin, no? Ito, that they may bypass the training or competencies already attained, no? So technically, no, I think, halimbawa, example, mga ating estudyante sa visual graphic design, no, and CSS in animation sa BTB10, no, um, they are they already acquired skills in terms of CSS animation and visual graphic design. And with that, they could actually go to assessment center and have them assessed. And then if they could perform the different competencies, then they are qualified. No, so may mga tao or may mga applicant na hindi na dumadaan sa 6 na buwan na training. No, kasi because they have the skills already. No, minsan kailangan na lang nila ng refreshment, mga 2 days training, mga ganyan. No, so satisfactorily completion training is based on achievement of all specified competencies. So you're qualified, no? You will receive completion, no? and qualification if all the specified competencies were met. Okay? And flexible training approach. Ayan. Yung different method approach is also applied to TM and national certification, no? And also, yung mga different multimedia materials natin are being provided sa ating mga trainee para uh, in order to for them to master the skills and competencies they need. So those are the characteristics of CBT. So for the references, you may want to check, no, the references.